All right, welcome to Talking Investing. I'm Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to do our daily Bitcoin and Bitcoin miner update. I want to go through what's happened since we did the last one over the weekend, and the big board was very mixed today, so I want to go through some winners and losers on the day today, take a look at what's going on with Bitcoin in general, and see where we might be going from here. So, as you guys know, we cover Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners all the time on this channel, or if you're new to this channel, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, if everybody could please smash the like button, it helps get this video out to a lot more people, so I appreciate that very much. So let's start right out with the Bitcoin miner big board and take a look and see how the miners did today. From the equity markets close on Friday into the equity markets close today, Bitcoin was down about 4%. So as you look at this board of Bitcoin miners, there's a lot of green on here. There's, at least half and half green and red. So a lot of these had very positive reactions today. Okay, the first one I want to talk about is CleanSpark. CleanSpark was up 9.27% today. We spent most of the Friday live stream. For those of you who don't know, we do a live stream every Friday at 4:15 Eastern time, and we just kind of go through what happened on the week. And the big question on Friday's live stream was, what is going on with CleanSpark? Why is it stuck? So sure enough, here's Monday. And CleanSpark had the big move on the day by far, up 9.27%. It was up even higher than that at certain points during the day. There were not too many big moves to the upside. Other than that, BitDigital was up 4.3%. Everything else was in the 0 to 1.5% if it was green. And on the red side, there were a bunch that were down. And remember, Bitcoin was down, in the neighborhood of 3 or 4%. So Bitfarms was down 3.42%. Marathon was down 5.54%. And Core Scientific was down 3.98%. So it's worth noting that Riot was up 0.14%. The three of those are the three biggest market caps. They've been moving in unison a little bit lately, but not so much today. Some of the other ones that had a big down day was Stronghold was down 7.17%. Wolf was down over 4%. Mawson was down 3.75%. Cypher was down 5.2%. So you can see we were all over the place. Some up, some down. Not massive volume anywhere. So probably not much to take away from this other than just a little bit of volatility on today's trading. Okay, this is a chart of how all the Bitcoin miners did in the month of July. Today is August 1st, so the month of July is over, and these were the final results. So one of the ones that I really focused on that I found most shocking was down here in second last place. CleanSpark was only up 2% in the month of July. And you can see July was a fantastic month. I mean, Marathon ran away up 143%, but Riot was up 75%, Core was up 68%. We had a bunch above 50%. And for whatever reason, CleanSpark was only up 2% on the month, and I really don't see any reason why that was. It just seems like it was lagging behind for no fundamental reason, no real technical reason that I could find either. So is this a one-day jump in CleanSpark, or are they about to go on a little bit of run and make up for some lost time? So we'll start out with Bitcoin on the 30-minute time frame. So Bitcoin was at 23,906 when the equity markets closed on Friday. Today, when the equity markets closed, Bitcoin was about 23,025. So Bitcoin was down about $900. If I run the percentages, that's just under 4%. So that tells you a lot why a bunch of the miners were down about 3, 4, 5%. I want to move to Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame. This has been the most meaningful chart for me over the course of the last month as far as trading on a day-to-day basis. And again, I'm not a day trader, but I do dollar cost average in, and I do use through options. I do some swing trading. And this 4-hour chart has been extremely useful. So it seems like we possibly are repeating the same pattern again. So you can see back on July 20th, we were at about $24,200. That was a local high. We've been setting a series of higher highs and lower lows. I want to look at the 4-hour RSI because this has been really telling the story. So you can see we've already had 1, 2, 3, and now it looks to me like 4 cycles here that keep repeating themselves. And again, on the daily RSI, these are higher lows. Each time we went through one of these cycles, we started at a low down here and then we moved up and up and up and up. So each time here, 3 times in a row, we've gotten to the point where Bitcoin was overbought, which means it was over 70 on the 4-hour RSI. Each time it seemed to get there, that seemed to be the end of that run, and it turned around. In the previous several times, it has run all the way back down to oversold territory, which is under 30. So, while there's no guaranteeing that this is going to repeat itself again, for me, this is how I'm trading. This seems to be a very established pattern, and I'm using options to trade this until it breaks. So obviously this is not financial advice. There's no guarantee whatsoever that this pattern will continue, but you can see it has been a very distinct pattern, and this goes back a month and a half. So it looks to me, I drew a circle right here. It looks to me like we have some more pullback to come on the 4-hour RSI. So to put it in perspective, over the last 3 cycles, that's been anywhere from a day to 2.5 days. So it's a very short period of time. By this time tomorrow, we may already have bottomed out and are on the way back up. So 1 or 2 or 3 days at the most, I'm expecting of a little bit of resistance. We're in a very strong relief rally, so I will not be surprised if one of these times we don't make it all the way down to the bottom and completely reset. So it is not impossible that we bounce off of this circle here and head back up. But to me, what is more likely is maybe one more day of downward pressure and then bottom out somewhere just in the neighborhood of oversold territory, which is around 30 on the 4-hour RSI. You can see if we look at the 4-hour MACD, we had a bearish crossover right here on July 30th, which was right at the peak. And so the histogram's been going down ever since. We seem to be near bottoming out here. So this would be very consistent again with maybe running down to oversold on the RSI before we get a crossover, a bullish crossover on the 4-hour histogram. So this is all lining up very, very, very similarly to the last several times, 2 or 3 times that we've done this. Let's go to the 1 day. Okay, the first thing I want to see before I throw any of the lines on the 1-day chart, this is the 200-week moving average. You guys know I've been looking at this for months now. Bitcoin has spent by far less than 1% of its history under the 2-week moving average, probably not even 0.1% of its history under the 200-week moving average. This run right here is the longest run by far. This was well over a month. We did pop above it one time. We are currently above it right now. However, you'll see this is our 4th red candle in a row, and it looks like it's really running right into the 200-week moving average. So what would really be nice is if we could establish this as support. So if we were able to bounce from here and head up, that would be a strong move in this relief rally, and that would tell me that we could still have a lot of rally left to go. Just as likely is that we break below this again, just like we did the last time, and we spent a couple days below and then jumped right back above. So we will have to see. But this is definitely on the daily time frame. On a little longer time frame, I'm looking to hopefully maybe bounce off of this 200-week moving average and reestablish this as support, as it has been almost every single day in the history of Bitcoin other than this last month. So I'm going to add my lines back in and go to the daily RSI, and you'll see we have this arrow pointing up. So last month we were rejected and we had a big downward push. This month we did push past this and get into the top half of the RSI. So anything over 50 starts to be positive. I've always said that good things happen over 50 on the daily RSI for Bitcoin. So the same thing has been true on this run. We got as high as 61. We did bounce back below 50 and then came right back above it again. So overall, we still do seem to be following this arrow. I have this line of support down here that really we didn't even bounce off of it last time. We're nowhere near it yet this time. However, the one thing that I will say, on the last couple of times we peaked on the daily RSI, this was not a higher high. This was almost exactly sideways. So in my mind, that's not a problem. I still believe that overall, we've been spending the last month plus heading towards overbought on the daily RSI. So that is the rally I've been looking for. To me, that would be the completion of this rally. So that would be maybe another 1 to 2 weeks of rallying. So what I will be looking for in the next 24 hours is, do we get below 50 on the RSI again? If so, do we hold this line of support? If we get below 50 and we break through this line of support, then I would probably say those are much stronger indicators that the rally is over and we've got a little more downside to come. But for the time being, and I'm going to go back to the 4-hour time frame, I do think if we just fill in the rest of this circle, which again we could easily do in the next 24 hours, a more likely scenario is that we bounce off of this and take another run up. So again, I've been targeting this blue line right here at around 25,366. That's been my price target for this rally. I do think there's a chance we could go beyond that as well, but at the moment, we're going to have to wait and see how this plays out, because for the last day and a half, actually most of the weekend and today, the pressure has been downward, and I think that's going to continue for a short period of time. Just the last thing to look at, we're at 33 on the Fear and Greed Index, which is fear. Yesterday, we were at 39. The day before that, we were in the 40s, so we're really trading in a very different range here on the Fear and Greed Index. This is a gigantic shift. I am expecting this next shift up to neutral. We haven't gotten that yet, so we'll keep our eye on this as well. Just a couple of charts worth looking at. Here's Cleanspark. So you can see Cleanspark just a few days ago was still at its 52-week low, which was at $3.75. So it had a nice move up today. It closed at $4.36, up almost 10% on the day. But this is still, if you remember, we only had a 2% move in the month of July from the chart that we looked at earlier. So Cleanspark is still up only about 17 or 18% from its low of this month. Most of the other miners are up much more than that. So I'm looking for maybe this run to continue in Cleanspark. The other one that in my mind is lagging behind is Bitfarms, and Bitfarms has had this wall at $1.50. So you can see it closed today at $1.41. It's candle wicked up over $1.50 once, twice, 3 times, 4 times over the course of the last month, but it has not had a close over $1.50. So I did do a separate video on Bitfarms today. You can check that out if you want right here, and I did a deep dive. They did do their monthly operational update, so that's worth checking out. That's all I've got for you today on Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners. We will check in again tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching. If you made it this far, remember to subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks.